Welcome to Titanium Training. I am going to be your guide along this mythical and wondrous journey into fitness and health. Was that good? Did I do okay? I feel like I did okay. Let's get on with the show. So here's what you guys got going on today. Here's how your protocols look. What you guys got going on today. I decided to switch up our pattern just a little bit, just because personally I get bored with the same exact pattern after a while, and I got to change it up just for my own personal stuff. So there you go. This is where I personally interject things. So here's what you guys got going on. You guys got 2 sections of exercise. You got a fun little finisher at the end whenever you're done with today's workout. So inside of the first section is only 2 exercises. It's 5 rounds, 6 on each side for both exercises. Your goal for this first section is to go as heavy as you can comfortably, or put in as much resistance as you can comfortably in order to be able to help elicit growth and change for that specific movement pattern. The next section of exercise you guys have after that has 4 exercises. It's 4 rounds worth of work, and then whatever the rep count is on the end of that. As always, inside of the description for this video, I try to actually type out what the workout actually is, so you don't have to necessarily look at what's going on here. You can actually see it, and my job is just to explain to you how that works when you're going in through the workout. So with that being said, 2 exercises, 5 rounds worth of work. So you're going to go back and forth between the 2 exercises for 5 rounds, 6 on each side for both exercises. And then the next thing you guys are doing, you guys have 4 exercises. It's 4 rounds worth of work, and then whatever the rep count is for those specific exercises. Once you're done with that, then you're going to move to our fun little cardio finisher. Just a little bit of a heart, pum pum, for a little bit of that extra pum pum as you go down the road, pum pum. I don't even know what that means. So you have 2 exercises. It's 2 rounds worth of work, 40 seconds work with a 20-second break. Those are your protocols for your specific sections. So you have 1, 2, and a finish. With that, thank you guys for watching this aspect of it. Now, let's get on with the show, and let's roll around to the other side of the room, like literally to the other side of the room, and then get you guys started on the actual exercises themselves. Here we go. Welcome to section 1, where we do exercise for heart health. I just mess around because I'm kind of silly, and that's pretty much how I work. If you haven't figured that out by now, let me just go ahead and put that in the universe for you. I have the degree in silliness, more like a PhD. So with that, let's talk about section number 1. Section number 1 is going to be a single leg deadlift and 3-point row. So give me just a second, let me grab a bench and then a weight, because as always, you guys know, I'm professionally unprofessional, and that's how I do most everything in this life. Maybe I'd be further ahead in my life if I wasn't so professionally unprofessional. Maybe I'd have more business, or maybe, I'll be fine. So here's what we got going on. So there's that. Let's grab a weight real fast, because I know this is everybody's favorite part, is watching me flounder as I do this, knowing that I'm supposed to have all this ready and prepared, like I'm Jillian Michaels or something, or a Shaun T, whatever. Anyway, now you know the silliness, and those are my flaws. Enjoy that. The first thing, like I said, you have a single leg deadlift, and then you also have 3-point rows. For these couple of exercises, you're just going to need a weight. You can use, once again, bags, book bags, suitcases. You can use kettlebells. You can use dumbbells. You can use grocery bags full of vegetables and fruits and weights, or whatever it is you want to do. Just any implement that you can put inside of your hand is what we're going to use for the next 2 exercises. So the first thing I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to show you the single leg deadlift, or the one that we tried to show everybody in the first time. So what you guys have is you're going to get your feet between hip and shoulder. Let me move back a little bit. So you can get your feet between hip and shoulder width apart. You're going to point your toes out slightly, and then what you're going to do from here, the idea is just propping one foot backwards. You're going to keep your knees not necessarily next to each other, because that's like the wrong way to say it. You're just going to keep your knees in the same place. So it's like a regular deadlift, you're just propping that foot backwards. And then what you're going to do is, hand with the weight, with that being, or sorry, the foot that's back is also the hand that's with the weight. That's how that's how you coach that. Okay. So hand, foot, and then you're going to push your hips backwards, and then you're going to stand up straight. Now, with the foot that's propped backwards, you should be feeling everything on the opposite side. So if everything's on the right, you should be feeling it on the left. And then when everything's on the left, you should be feeling it on the right. As long as you are, here we go, pushing your hips backwards and bending straight. Oh, whoops, wrong hand. I already messed up my own exercise. As long as you're pushing your hip backwards and then bending over, at this point, you should get a stretch from here, here, and here. Mostly here and here, though. Here and here is where you should be feeling the stretch for the single leg deadlift. The next thing you guys have after that is a 3-point row. Now, the purpose of the 3-point row is, one, your goal is to get 3 points of contact where you are fully supported. So your first 2 points are going to be your feet. The third point is the other hand, where you're putting it on the bench. You're going to grab that weight. And then what you're going to do from here is you're going to go from floor, or not floor, but you're going to go from where you're here and then to your hip. Down to the hip, down to the hip. 6 on one side. Woo, barefoot almost died. Excuse me. 6 on one side, 6 on the other side. Now with this one, if it is too much, well, actually it shouldn't be. This should actually be a pretty decent protocol for anybody who wants to do that. Like I said, you can use a bench or a couch, because with the 3 points of bracing, you should actually have a little bit less leverage in the back and a little bit less in the core, and really focusing more on what the actual row part is, honestly speaking. So that's 3-point rows, single leg deadlifts. If you guys don't need weight, don't use weight. Just stretch through the exercise and then slow your tempo down. That's what I should be saying. Giving you the alternate. Anyway, so if you guys cannot use weight, stretch your body through that exercise. Meaning, just go through the motion of the exercise, slow the tempo down, and make sure you're feeling it in the areas you're supposed to feel it in order to get a decent workout from it. Now that you're done with section 1, now let's talk about section 2. Let's just jump right into it. Not even going to no cuts, no craziness today. We're just going to go straight into section 2. And there's 4 exercises. It's 4 rounds worth of work. The first exercise is the open, close, crunch. I use this crunch a lot just because I personally like it, and I just like it because it's also easily programmable from where it is. I can make it harder and I can make it easier just from exactly where it is. So the first thing you guys are going to be doing is laying flat on your back on the ground. Let's move back here, get out of the way. Stay over there, don't fall. Woo! Okay. Oh, scary. So what you're doing is you're laying flat on the ground on your back. Just like that. Okay, so really super important, keeping your back flat, honestly speaking. So from your hips to your shoulders, keep the back as flat as possible. And then you're going to extend your feet forward, where I relax my feet on the bench. Hello. And then what you're going to do is extend your arms out. And then for the crunching aspect of it, your goal is to bring your knees forward, crunching the lower abs. So you're going to tighten this, knees up. And then I'm going to bring my elbows forward and tighten this up. So it's tight, extend, tight, extend, open, close, crunch. If that's too much to do, like it's too much on your back, like you feel it hurting your back, then what I want you to do is put your feet on the ground where you bend your knees, and then just do it like this, where it's tight, extend, tight, and extend. You're shortening up the range of motion, still contracting in the abs to get this, get the thing from it. That's what you're going to do. If that's still too much to do, that's okay. You can always just roll up your abs, just like that for however many reps that are designed for it. And if you can't do this on the floor, you can always sit on a bench or lay on a bench or lay on a couch and do the same action. Next exercise. Oh, here we go. So, next exercise you guys have is a windmill. So, with the windmill, what you're doing, like I said, I'm going to show you the one without weight, just so you understand, this is the version that you can do if you can't hold any kind of weight and you just want to stretch through the exercise. So what you're going to do is you're going to have one hand you're going to focus on. So I'm going to focus on my left hand for this video. We're going to turn the feet to the left, and then what you're going to do is you're going to bend that left knee as you push your hip backwards, just like in a deadlift. You're going to push your hip back, keeping your chest forward, hand down, stretch, and stand up. Now for this exercise, you should be getting it through the oblique, through the piriformis area, or the side of the hip, and then a little bit through the side of this, the thigh. So you're going to do however many on this side, you're going to teapot around however many on the other side. That's without weight. If you do decide to use weight, the direction that you're turning your feet, so if you turn your feet to the right, your weight is going to be in the right hand as well. As I do this grabby motion, because if I do a grabby motion, things are just going to happen. That's how that works. The next thing you guys have after the windmill, with or without weight, is to do skaters. So with skaters, you have two options for this one. The first option is you're going to go side and slide that left leg back, putting all the pressure on that front leg, and then you're going to over, slide back, over, slide back, over, slide back. If that is too much pressure on your hips or on your knees, then what you can do, you can always just do a lateral step, and try to keep your balance. So you can laterally step or skater, either one of those is fine, doing the designated reps and sets for that exercise. The last exercise you guys have for this specific section of work is what's called a squat mobility drill. This one, you do not have to use weight for this. I'm not suggesting weight for this one. I just want you to go through the actual mobility drill of this exercise in order to help with the hips, the knees, and the ankles through this course of action. So what you're doing, we're going to show you from the front. What you're going to do is you're going to go into the full squat first. Just go squat as far as you can comfortably, and that's how you start. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to point your hands towards the ground, and then from there, you're going to push your hips backwards, stretching the hamstrings. And then you're going to sit back down into the squat, and then you're going to stand up. Like I said, I don't want you to worry about using weight for this one, because I just really want you to focus on the mobility of this. So from the side, what that looks like is squatting as far as you can comfortably, hands to the ground, hips back, straighten the legs, stretching the hamstrings, sit back down, and then stand back up. Like I said, I'm not suggesting weight. If you want to use weight, you can. That's cool. I'm not above it. But what I am saying is the idea for that is just going through the mobility and the range of motion for that specific exercise. So once you're done with that, you know what? Let's just go straight to the finish. Like I said, no cuts, one take. Here we go. So what you guys have now is the final finishing section of the exercise program we have today. You have 2 exercises. The goal is, like I said, just to get the heart rate up, get you a little bit sweaty, and leave you feel like you're needing some more. So the first thing you guys have is the jump lunge. So with the jump lunge from the front, on your toes, knees out, and then what you're going to do is you're going up and switch, up and switch, up and switch from the side. Let me show you from the side. Up and switch, always on the toes, keeping your knees wide, back and forth for 40 seconds. If that's too hard on your knees or your ankles or your hips, then what I want you to do, just take a second, hands on your hips, and then just alternating reverse lunge, back and forth. This is a great option. Like I said, if things just hurt, really good option. The next thing you guys have, oh, and if you can't lunge at all, like it hurts your knees to lunge, that's cool too, man. Just body weight squat, baby. Just body weight squat. We're cool with body weight squats here. Whatever you gotta do, I totally get it. The last thing that you guys are doing is a squat hold. This is awesome. It's like a wall sit, except for you're not using the wall. So what you're doing, you're just squatting, you're squatting to about 90 degrees where you have full tension on the quadricep and the glute, and you're just gonna hold it for 40 seconds. That's pretty much it. Now, if you have too much trouble with that, you can always put your hand on like a bar or a chair or something just to kind of help you maintain your balance. You just can't put your hands on your knees or thighs. That's the only thing I ask. So that's it. That's your whole protocol for today. It took us, well, roughly 12 minutes to talk about that. That's awesome. It's been the best 12 minutes of my life. Thank you guys for participating in all the fun as always. I appreciate you and you and you, and especially you in the back, Tim. I really like you. You're doing a great job, buddy, and I appreciate your motivation and drive. You too, random girl name and other random guy name that you're probably not actually in existence, and I'm just speaking out loud because that's just what I do. Thank you guys as always for watching the videos. I appreciate you taking time out of your day and listening to me ramble on for 15 to 20 minutes. This is 15 to 20 minutes you're never going to get back, but hopefully in return, instead of you worrying about listening to me for that much time, I actually help you get some of your life back. That's really what I want to do. I want to help change your life so you can take some of your control back. With that being said, as always, with this video and all of my other videos and this channel in general, all I want you to do is like, comment, subscribe, and share what we are doing here. So with as much love as I'm sharing with you, I want you to spread that love around as generously as humanly possible. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for me. I'm going to keep working as much as I can for you to give you what you need. I'm Brian. This is Titanium Training LLC, as always, saying enjoy the rest of your day.